Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So yes, this is a day late, but this is going to be my recap of PLL season 6 episode 5. And this episode was pretty good. What was the name of the episode? I forgot. But here's the thing, we learned some stuff. And is it just me? Next week there's no, well, this Tuesday coming up there's no PLL until the following week. Sad face. Okay. So this episode opens up with, Maddie Ziegler, the girl who is from Dance Moms, and she was in Sia's Chandelier and Elastic Heart video, doing this like weird dance thing, and what Spencer thought was the dollhouse, but she couldn't remember the room, and we find out later that it was Radley. This was like Spencer's dream. So my one question is, why is it that Spencer she's the one who figured out the Charles name? Like, I still don't know, was that supernatural? Was that just her mind, because she's a really smart girl, like she just unscrambled it? Like, how did that really happen? Because it all seems a little weird. Spencer, she figured out the Charles name, and she's also the one who saw the room. She sees the room, and then later on we find out it's in Radley. Radley's where she finds out, they eventually find out that, one, Leslie was in Radley too, and two, Charles is actually dead. His organs were, what are they called, donated, and all of that. So, are they like doing an underlying supernatural thing in PLL? Is that what that is, or is Spencer like a prophet? She gets dreams and then they come to reality? Like, I don't get it. But anyway, so that happened in the beginning. It was like a little, was it really a dance sequence? I guess. Super creepy, looked like a horror movie, like out of The Grudge or something like that, or The Ring, whatever, those type of horror movies. And on Twitter, I forgot who it was said it, but they were saying that Maddie was portraying young Spencer. So Spencer, when she was telling, who was it, Arya and Mona, she was like, oh, it looked like it could be a young Allison. It didn't really look like young Allison to me, but whatever. Some people were saying that it was young Spencer. So I'm wondering, was that a spoiler, or was that just a lie, or what? And if it was young Spencer, then that means, was Spencer in Radley when she was younger? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Yeah, so that was really weird. And it was pretty long and creepy. And she was like going around the bathtub and all this stuff. I forgot exactly what she did, but it was weird. I know that much. And Spencer was creeped out, and she was trying to figure out, if anyone else remembered that room. And turns out it was in Radley, because Arya didn't remember it. Arya was even trying to remember it, but she didn't remember it. So that was like the opening scene. And then they showed Allie in her house overhearing the cops that are supposed to be watching her house talking about her as if she's gonna make them go to jail or something like that. Basically, they don't care about her, and they still feel like she's all trouble. So, them watching her house is not really a good idea, because if anything does happen, they might not even care to do something about it. So they're still showing that, there's still that stigma with Allie's name, and Allie's life is not, back to normal. Probably will never be, because there always seems to be some trouble behind, like, whatever she's going through, or whatever's going on with her. Then what else happened? Oh, Sara and Emily. Sara was like on the phone, Emily comes out the shower, she's on the phone with her mom, and her mom was like, oh, she wants her to come home again, and Emily's like, what does she think she can do? She can just use you for her money, blah blah blah. It's like, Emily, I feel like Sara picked the right person to cling to, because Emily is just super defensive all of a sudden. The other girls really don't even think that much about Sara, but Emily is so engrossed in Sara already, it's crazy. And she's pretty much telling her, oh, you should get emancipated. And I agreed with Caleb. He was like, why don't you just wait out the next few months, because honestly, like, it's a long process or whatever, and you're going to be 18 in a few months. But she was like, Sara didn't even say this. Emily said no, she needs to do it now. It's already been too long, blah, 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 whatever. So, yeah, in that first part, Emily told Sara, like, she should get emancipated, because Emily's tired of hearing Sara's mom using her. My only thing is, there are some loose ends with all of that. Again, where are Sara's friends? because Sara did not go back to her friends, the friends who were looking for her when she went missing, the friends who made the website for her and all of that. And it seems like nobody knew she was going to run away. So, like, I don't think that Sara is Sara. It might be Bethany Young, and I'm going to get more into that a little bit later. So, what else happened? I forgot what happened with Hannah. Oh, Hannah and Mona. Mona comes back. So Hannah's home. Mona's in her house. Creep life. Still a creep. Mona still is untrustworthy. It is crazy what happens this episode. And I'm going to tell you guys what I thought of what happened this episode. So first Mona's like, oh, she's so afraid of Allison. Allison's going to come after her, blah, blah, blah. I still haven't seen the side of Allison that's super vindictive towards anybody. I feel like maybe Allie wouldn't have even done much to save the girls if she was so vindictive or whatever. I think that Allie has really been painted that way now that I'm kind of seeing, like, some of the underlying story of what's going on. And then Mona was afraid of the cops and all that because she faked her death, yada, yada, yada. So then Mona and Hannah go together to the cafe, and Mona was like, okay, come with me to the police station. Like, she's so scared. She's not in a rush. She's so scared, whatever. So they see Leslie. Then Mona says, oh, can you please hurry up? So I guess maybe she saw Leslie first. I wasn't sure if she actually did, but it seemed like that. And she was like, oh, can you... Leslie was pissed off because Leslie has been summoned. You know, she's not from Rosewood. She was summoned by the Rosewood police because of the fact that, well, Mona's alive. And, you know, now she has to answer questions again because she seems to have lied on the stand. My thing is, what about if Leslie truly believed that Mona was dead and all that, then she wasn't lying, you know? It's not perjury. She didn't know, right? Unless she actually did know, which clearly she did know that Mona was alive. That's why it's perjury. It's not perjury if you truly believe something, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't know that the person was actually alive, then you didn't lie on the stand. If you thought that Hannah was, you know, really acting the way that you perceived her to act, the way you said she acted, then you did not lie. So clearly Leslie is also a liar, and she knew that Mona was alive, and there's way more to her story than we thought. And if we track back to last season, when Leslie popped up out of nowhere talking about she was Mona's friend, I was like, you already know, guys, when a new character pops up out of nowhere in PLL, they're up to no good. So she popped up at first. She was like, oh, I just wanted to see Mona's book and da-da-da, all this stuff. And it's like, why would you want to see the same book that had the tapes that, you know, A was looking for? It all makes sense now. Leslie is probably on the A team or something with A, might be A, might not be A, and it all makes sense. I'm gonna skip ahead. So we find out that Leslie was roommates with Bethany Young in Radley. Leslie and Mona met in Radley, so pretty much Leslie is connected to everything. So when Leslie popped up, you know, after Mona's death, it all makes sense now. Like, oh, Mona's friend from, I forgot where she said she was from, her grandma's town, something like that, some crap like that. I don't remember exactly. And now we don't really know how old Leslie is. We don't really know anything because she was in Radley longer than Mona. Long enough to know Charles. So when exactly did Charles die? Charles died when he was 16. How long was Leslie in Radley? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a long time, because if Charles is older than Jason, Jason is older than Allie. The girls are, what, 18? Are about to be 18 this year. I'm not sure how much older Jason is. Probably at least 2 years. So this had to be years of, like, years ago that all this started. So Leslie, she's very suspect. And yeah, so at first she was making it seem like, oh, she has to go to the cops now, so now she doesn't want to talk to Mona. She said, I also, what? I believe in payback as well. She said something like that to Mona. I'm just like, okay, payback, okay, I see you. So after that, what happens? The girls all, I'm trying to think. After that, Oh, so I think after that what happens is Emily and Sarah Bethany and Sarah go to Caleb to figure out how to get emancipated, yada yada. He tells them it's not an easy process and all this stuff. Then Caleb hires her in his web design company. Oh yeah, sorry, track back. Hannah and Spencer have a conversation at school, you know, and Hannah asks Spencer, oh, are you buzzed? Like, are you stoned right now because of the cookies? And she's acting like, oh, I just miss Toby. I haven't seen him in so long. Where did Toby go anyway? I don't remember if they said that or not. Whatever. You know, I still don't fully trust Toby, so whatever. And then Hannah was like, well, you know, they say sex is a drug too, because she's talking about, oh, she misses Toby. And she seemed like, you know, she was on something. So yeah, Hannah was pretty much telling Spencer, like, you have to watch your addictions. And then I guess that led Spencer to going to the, I don't know if it was the AA or just a drug addiction meeting thingamajiggy, where she saw Dean, who was her former, like, counselor. Yeah, which kind of led her to eventually just giving up the pot, pretty much, which was good. So she let go of that little, what's that called? Dependence that she was trying to create there. So what else happened? Oh, so Allie and Lorenzo now. I don't know why he was in her house again. I guess she invited him over to talk about the camp thing that she's supposed to be doing, that he's so, like, trying to make her do so hard, like, be a, I guess, a counselor or whatever. But then again, he said it's in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, pretty much. It's like, why do we keep going back to the woods? And Allie's like, oh yeah, I'm not afraid of the woods. But it's like, I already know A's gonna be there waiting for you. And it's like, it's funny that Lorenzo is the person making all of this happen, you know, and she's just so trusting out of nowhere, which, with everything that she's been through, you would think that she would have more reservations about doing something that's gonna lead her, you know, to the middle of nowhere. But then again, right now she doesn't want to be home anyway because she doesn't trust her father because of everything that she found out about Charles and all that. So, and then they're making this little love connection with Lorenzo and Allie, and I'm just like, mostly because the actor, he's from Single Ladies, so I know he's like at least, I don't know, at least 30. Sasha is like 19 in real life. In the show though, she's 17, 18. And I don't know, I'm just not convinced by his character. I'm just not. I don't know if you guys know that show, but it used to be on VH1, and then I think it moved to Centric, I believe, something like that. I haven't watched it in years, but I'm just like, I recognize that guy. No. But, so, oh, and, what is it? Allie's father walked in on Lorenzo and Allie at home, at her house, and he was, like, told Lorenzo, like, get out, pretty much like, oh, so you wanted a cop closer to your age, is that what you wanted? Because Allie had complained to her dad about the cops who were talking about her, and he was like, oh, you know, this is what happens when you, I think when you behave badly or something like that. She's like, you would know. So, you know, they're not on good terms right now, so, yeah. That's what's going on with Lorenzo, Allie, and her father. And then we didn't see Jason this episode. Again, he disappeared, even though he still lives at home. Then what happened? It's like when you're trying to replay this stuff in your head, it's like I get it in bits and pieces. Oh, so Sara and Emily, so they pretty much everything went through fine with the emancipation, I believe, which is quick, I guess, or maybe they're just trying to celebrate the fact that Caleb was gonna help Sara do it. So Emily was like, oh, so how do you want to celebrate your new freedom? And she was like, oh, well, Sara was like, oh, let's make it permanent, because there was a tattoo shop across the street. I was like, oh boy, here we go. So Sara got like this tattoo with a caged bird being set free on her back, and she's like, oh, Emily, what are you gonna get? And Emily's like, nothing. Pretty much, but then she ends up getting courage, I think on her hip. And then while Emily was getting her tattoo, she asked Sara to hold her phone, which was pretty unnecessary, but whatever. So Sarah's holding her phone, and she sees a text from Aria. Oh, Aria, that's what I forgot to talk about. So hold on. Aria was at Hollis again, and Clark is the boy's name that she met last episode. Clark invited her to go to a junkyard or something like that to take pictures. He told her about this contest where you could get an internship or something like that in LA, and she's like, oh, that sounds great, because, you know, everybody wants to get out of Rosewood after college, after high school. And so they go together, and then they're taking pictures, and Arya thinks she sees A. And I think she does see A, because she sees the hoodie, and it looks like a girl, but she finds that out later when she, like, steals Clark's negatives, or whatever they're called, and like, takes a picture of it to look through the pictures to see if she sees A, because somebody, when Arya saw somebody move, so she went over there, and then she didn't see anything, but then a whole shelf was, like, pushed over, so that was probably what A did. So later on she went to see if he got a picture of it, because he was taking pictures kind of on an angle, and he did get a picture. And it looked like A had a chest, a bust. So Arya texts all the girls saying A is a girl, like question mark, with the picture, and Sara sees it. Now, what's funny is Sara, her reaction was very weird to me. At first it seemed like, oh no, she found out what I'm doing, something like that, but it seems like Sara and Emily are always together, so I don't think that Sara could be A in the hoodie. But at the same time, like, she was kind of mad at Emily for not telling her that they're trying to find the person responsible, but it's like, why would you be mad at me for that? Like, you obviously, all the girls were put in the dollhouse for a reason, so clearly they're going to want to know why, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you mad at me for trying to find out who did this to me and you? And she's like, oh, I thought we had a connection. So she just felt hurt because Emily didn't tell her what, like, the girls were up to, but it's like, Nunya, you know what I mean? Well, that's what she was acting like. Personally, I feel like she's like, uh-oh, they're kind of onto us a little bit more in the back of my mind, because when we find out that, what's her name? What's the girl's name? Why did I forget it? Leslie, was in Radley and was roommates with Bethany Young. It's like, I wonder if we put Leslie and Sara in the same room, will they know each other? You know, because it still seems odd that now Leslie was roommates with Bethany Young, so, and then Mona met Leslie in Radley as well, so it's like, and Leslie could possibly have known Charles, so what they were, like, the girls were saying, what, was she mad because she found out that Bethany didn't like Allie, and Allie, what, was mean to her, something like that? I forgot what they said. So she just wanted to get revenge because somebody buried Bethany alive and all that. And I'm like, if that's the case, what if Sara is Bethany? Because Melissa did bury somebody alive. She buried some blonde girl alive. It wasn't Allie. So, and then what if it was Bethany, aka Sara, and then Sara was taken to the dollhouse after that? Because she was hit over the head and then buried, I believe. And she woke up in the dollhouse. So what if Sara was just told that, you know, she is Sara when she was Bethany? You know what I'm saying? Well, who knows what's really going on there with Leslie. And then also, I feel like Mona was in on all of this the whole time. I feel like this was the plan. Maybe not the plan that they all escaped, but for one thing, Mona is a liar. She said that, oh, her mom's not going to let her out to go to Radley to help out Spencer and Hannah, but she was in Radley the exact same time. So when Mona was, at the spa or away with her mom, she was just still around Rosewood doing stuff. Like, who knows? Or she met up with Leslie to plot what they're going to do next. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't trust Mona. I feel like she lied. Because what she did was, after she was found out by, Spencer and Hannah, she calls Leslie. She's like, I'm sorry, I did everything I could, but they know. And Leslie went ham. She was super upset. So, and it's like, Leslie was such a calm, nice girl. All of a sudden, she's like, no, you had to do one thing, you know? And before that, she had told Hannah, oh, stop trying to figure things out, leave that to the police. when Hannah was like, oh, because Hannah was like kind of giving slips of information, and Leslie was like, oh, leave that to the police, but she was saying it with like a smirk on her face, which was weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know what happened? You know something, like, you know, she doesn't care. You know, your friend was supposedly abducted and all that crap, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to bring the champagne. No, that's not cool. You know, she was still abducted. She was still held captive, unless she just wasn't held captive. Unless this was just a ploy to make the girls feel like, you know, the A was actually after her too, when A isn't. She was still just working for A the entire time. Because honestly, Mona is very capable of doing stuff like that. So yeah. What else happened? Oh, next week. Oh, well, yeah, next Tuesday, not this Tuesday coming up. The girls are going to find out they have a chip inside of them, which is good, because I'm like, how long are they going to go with this chip in them? They're trying to figure out, also at the end of this episode, they were like, so how are we going to catch Leslie in the act, or something like that? So they're going to try to figure out how to do that. And, we'll see what happens, because Sara was like, oh, I saw somebody in a black hoodie, too. It's a girl, she was where, Caleb was and everything. So you saw somebody in a black hoodie, you're supposed to be so close to Emily, and you didn't say anything to Emily. That's like, so why are you mad at me for trying to figure out the same thing when you didn't say anything to me? You know what I mean? Sarah's weird. So yeah, I think that's it. This video is kind of long. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely leave your comments down below about this episode. What did you think? Were you satisfied? What do you think is going to happen next? What do you think of the idea that Leslie might be A or something like that, or connected to A, connected to Charles, connected to whatever the heck is going on? Because clearly Charles is the link, and so Leslie was in Radley, Mona was in Radley, Bethany Young was in Radley, Sara was not in Radley, but we don't really know what Bethany Young looked like, which is weird, because we should have some type of picture of her, but then if they change the actress or whatever, then I guess that's that. And my thing is, one of these girls has to be Bethany, like Sara has to be Bethany or somebody, because there was another dress. Like, track back to the Christmas episode, there was another dress. Why was there another dress? It wasn't for Charles, because Charles is a boy. It wasn't, and Charles is older than Allie. So who was it for, and why? And what's the link with Bethany? Because Bethany did know Mrs. D. She did have a picture of her and everything. So, we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like the video if you like the video. Give it a thumbs up. Comment down below with your comments about this episode. Subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.